Good morning, friends. Bill here. How you doing? And we're here in Chicago for the DNC convention. Five of us were here yesterday. Jeremy Scott, Tom Ken, and myself, and they're going to be out today, Lord willing. Got 3 days left, and it was a good time. I've been to Chicago a couple of times before. One for the Taste of Chicago a long time ago, and then for the MLB All Star. Wow, when was that? That was a long time ago too. And preached up at the baseball park in downtown, at the Cubs Stadium. So but I'm not an expert in it. So Chicago, my point is Chicago is a great place for preaching. I did get downtown, a lot of foot traffic. It's not overwhelming, but a lot. It's consistent enough to be out there. Basically every day. You've got, I guess, Michigan Avenue is a busy spot. Some other things. You've got busy areas around each L. That's the subway that's above ground. L for elevated, I think. And so around those stations, there's lots of foot traffic. So, man, great city for preaching in general. So I want to encourage you to come to Chicago and preach. Jeremy here, he is a student here in the area, and he'd be glad to show you guys where to preach if anybody came up. And he's out a lot, and especially on the south side. So, hey, man, great city. And so what happened, Ken and I yesterday went down to Millennial Park, which is a big park in the city. And then Jeremy, Tom, and Scott were there in the park as well, but up by this a ball. I can't think of what it's called, but they can go up there and preach by the ball, which is more inside the park. So we're there a couple hours, and then people coming and going, just typical stuff, nothing out of the ordinary. And then so we went down to McCormick Place where they're having the DNC meeting. So what they're doing at the DNC, they're having meetings at the McCormick Place Convention Center, and they're having their evening sort of rallies at the United Center. So Ken and I went down to McCormick Place and found a good spot where people were getting off the L train going to the McCormick Convention Center, McCormick Place Convention Center. So that was pretty good. And then Jeremy, Tom, and Scott went up to the United Center for a couple hours. I think it's a couple hours, about an hour and a half maybe, before it started. They got off at one of the L stops and caught people coming and going. There was a protest rally there as well. So as best we can, we found the people. We did not see some crazy 1 mile rally. I know that's somewhere in the city, but I don't know where it is right this minute. So uh, Chicago in person is a lot different than what the way the news rolls out the reputation of the city. So it was a peaceful time, people friendly in the scheme of things. So it was good. So praise God. So hey man, let's get rolling here. Let's talk about events coming up. I first want to talk about SFOI events. We've got the there's one next August 23rd, 24th. This weekend, Fallon Cantaloupe Festival and Country Fair. Sam Wilking is leading that. And so check that out if you're up in that area. That's in Nevada. I think that's that's in Fallon, Nevada. That's where that is. So that should be a good event if you're up in that area. Click on the link, and then contact Samuel. And then we've also got other events coming up next month. I think it's full Music City Grand Prix, September 13 and 15 in Nashville. Ben Gonzalez done a great job there, getting that rolling. So that's going good. And then South Star Festival, Frank Rollberg is working on that. I think there's about 8 or so guys signed up for that, which is good. First time ever for the city to have this event, and then for us, of course, to be there. So Frank, the guys in Huntsville have been faithful evangelists for a long time, and so it should be a good event. South Star Festival, September 27, 28 in Huntsville. Free place to stay for about 10 people. So I encourage you to, if you're in the North Alabama, Middle Tennessee area or somewhere close by and you want to get some experience or just meet some other guys to register for that, should be a good event, no cost on that deal. NFL London, October 11 to 21. I think we got about 3 spots left. So that should be good. Great city. You always hear me talk about how great London is. Has a lot of foot traffic, a lot of people out all the time because of the tube. Creates a ton of traffic. So you can go to London anytime. We just pick going over there when they have the NFL game. So we're going to have 10 days on the ground, 6-7 hours a day, preaching in the city, all over the city. It should be a lot of fun. If you like to preach and you want to go to another country, London is a great spot. What happens when you go out of the country, friends, is you sort of just lose touch with all the civic and political things going on in our world here in the United States. And it's just a freer place. You have lots less to think about. You made the decision to leave home basically and take care of your personal typical responsibilities at home. So you get over there and you really have the ability just to preach and preach every day. We stay at the Highbury Center and we get our own room there. That's one reason we stay there, so we can get some rest. So you can preach, pray a couple times a day with everybody, and then rest and get up and do it again. If you like doing that, which is kind of the life of the evangelist, then you'll love London. So come on. Circleville Pumpkin Show, October 16 and 19 in Circleville, Ohio. We've got a house for 6 people to spend the whole time there. So 4 days on the ground preaching in Circleville at the Pumpkin Show. It's the biggest pumpkin event in the country, not the world. Tons of people, guys that have been say it's a great event. Definitely, if you're in the area, if you want to get started, want to be with other guys to preach, really, there's no reason not to go. But it's a great event for that. It's not a hostile event. It's a very friendly event. So it's a great place to get started and then be with other guys, enjoy the fellowship. There'll be some more details rolling out about Heath Pucelin's training, working with a nearby church and so forth. So be on the watch out for those details. But Circleville, October 16 and 19, another great event. Heath and Stephen Kendall are leading that. North Carolina State Fair, Tommy Waltz is leading that October 24 to 27. Got a house for 15 guys. That should be an outstanding event. Again, if you want to get started or be with other guys that know how to do it, that's what these events really are all about. Because when you preach with the people, it just helps you get started. You go out there, you learn from them. There's typical training, both sort of in a classroom setting and informally being with everybody. It's partly the way the ministry is organized to help you, if you've never preached or evangelized before, to get out and do it, because you're with the other guys and you're around men who have a lot of experience. And that also helps you gain a lot of confidence and a lot of know-how really quickly. So that's going to be a great one. Those guys, Tommy, Joe Toy, the guys there preach a lot in the city. God's working a lot in Raleigh, North Carolina. I think you'd really enjoy it. Diego Sandoval heading off to Mexico City, October 25 to 27. Hey, do you speak Spanish? It's an amazing time down there. I've been a couple of times. The people speak enough English to understand you, but it's great if you speak Spanish. Mexico City, again, a great city for preaching. There's a couple of areas down there where the foot traffic is overwhelming. There's this arts building there with a gold dome on it. I have to get the name for next week. And it's an amazing spot. Just standing there across the street. It's great. So Diego speaks Spanish. He's got a good bunch of guys from Mexico that are going to join him. So it should really be a wonderful event. So if you want to go check it out, last one for the fall in terms of events, Grey Cup, Vancouver, Canada, October 14 to 17. So we've been in Vancouver before for the Winter Olympics. And so that's a good city for preaching. And then we're at the Grey Cup the last couple of years, right, Ken? And that's a good spot. That's a good spot for preaching as well. The CFL, the Grey Cup, is really their Super Bowl. And so what the CFL, the Canadian Football League, is doing, like all sports leagues, they're putting a lot of time and effort in getting people to come out and participate in non-game day events. And so it should be a good place, good 4-day event there in Vancouver, Canada. Vancouver, if you just never looked on the map, is basically due north of Seattle. So it's the same kind of weather, same kind of vicinity. It kind of feels like you're in the States a little bit, if you will. Great spot, though. Come on. Come join us. Love to have you up there preaching with us. And then I'll go over here, go over the schedule that we're putting out every week for you to have opportunity to preach to yourself like we've been doing. Share with you some things, events going on, festivals, and see what's happening. We'll start here on tomorrow, 21st. There's 17 MLB games, 17 MLB games in one festival. Let me go in reverse order. The festival, October 21, 22, Bash on the Bay in Put-in-Bay, Ohio. I think Caleb Davenport went up there last year, and they had a good time. I think the people like the police were supportive of them being up there. So if you live up there in North Ohio, in that area, it's a great place to go preach. If you want to contact Caleb, he's down in Florida now, and ask him how it went. Let me know, 423-724-7500. So the baseball is going to roll through where the city games are being played, and the start time for tomorrow, and these are Eastern time zones. Flushing, New York, that's the Mets, 110. Houston, Texas, 210. Arlington, Texas, 235. San Francisco, 345. And then San Diego, Miami, 640. Washington, D.C., 645. The Bronx, New York, 705. Toronto, 707. Atlanta, 720. St. Louis, 745. Chicago, 805. Kansas City, 810. Oakland, 940. L.A., 1010. Oh, I'm sorry, 15 MLB games and 2 MLS games. So MLS games are Columbus, Ohio, 7:30 p.m. start, and LA, 10 p.m. start. Thursday, what do we got? 10 MLB games, 1 festival. The festival is August 22 to 24. Pittsburgh, North Carolina, the Big What 2024. MLB games, Washington, D.C., 105. Bronx, New York, 105. St. Louis, 215. Chicago, 220. Oakland, 337. Pittsburgh, 640. Toronto, 707. Baltimore, 708. And Atlanta, 708. San Diego, 940. Hold on one second. I'm going to close the door. Yeah, Friday, 12 MLB games, 15 MLB games, 4 festivals. The festivals, August 23 to 25 in Auburn, California, Dry Diggings. August 23 to 24, Olympia, Washington, South Sound Block Party. Gatlinburg Convention Center, August 23 to 25, the Mountain USA Festival. Games. On Friday, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 640. Baltimore and Bronx, 705. Toronto, 707. Boston, Cleveland, Ohio. Miami, Florida, 710. Atlanta, Georgia, 720. Minneapolis, Kansas City, Chicago, 810. San Diego, 9. And Oakland, 940. Seattle, Washington, Auburn, and LA, 1010. Saturday, we've got, of course, Saturday's a big day. $15 MLB games, about 15 MLS games, 2 music festivals. Denver, Colorado on Saturday, 3 p.m. The Shine Festival, Felton, California, August 24 to 25. Santa Cruz Mountain Soul Festival. MLB, Bronx 205, Toronto 307, Baltimore 405, Oakland, California 407, Boston, Seattle, Miami 410, Pittsburgh 640, Cleveland, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Chicago 710, Atlanta 720, San Diego 840, LA 910, St. Paul 630. These are MLS games. St. Paul 630, Charlotte, Washington D.C., Fort Lauderdale, Montreal, Queens, Chester, Pennsylvania, Vancouver 730. Houston, Texas, Kansas City, Nashville, Salt Lake, Carson, California, Portland, Oregon, MLS. Those are 8:30 p.m. starts. All right, Sunday, One Music Festival, Girl Like Nevada, August 25 to September 2. Burning Man, no way. Burning Man Festival. MLB, 15 MLB games on Sunday. I'll just stop with this, and then you can look up for Monday and Tuesday. Try to keep it shorter here. Let's see. Atlanta, Georgia, 1205, 135, Boston, Pittsburgh, Bronx, Toronto, Cleveland, Ohio, 140, Miami, 140, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Chicago, 210, Oakland, 407, San Diego, Seattle, Los Angeles, 410, Baltimore, 710. And then Monday and Tuesday, they're all MLB games. A couple of MLS games on Tuesday. Check it out, friend. Click the link that'll be on this video. At the bottom, it'll bring you up. You can see this link to these events. Check it out. Go preach if you're going to preach there. Let us know so we can put it out there on social media that you're out preaching. If you got any questions, click the link that says events for upcoming events. We'd love to see you there. And if you don't want to go, can't go, so forth, and give so others can go in your place. Our mission is to make the name of Jesus Christ great amongst the nations, preach him in the nations of this world. Join with us in this endeavor, this great commission endeavor. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.